Hello everyone. So today we are going to learn about the mapping variables, and with the help of an example we will try to perform one small exercise. I hope with this example we will have a fair idea about the mapping variable. Uh, so let me start with the question definition. Uh, So what I'm doing here is I have a source file. I have already created it here. So the data looks something like this. It has a flat file which is having all the books related information for a library, and it is having book ID, book name, category of the book, and lastly I have a date of purchase. So if you have noticed, the date of purchase is let's say I remove these two lines from here. So this is the date which I have one book purchased uh, on 12/1, 18/1, 9/1, and 22/1. So this is kind of the date which I have. I'm going to show you one example where based on this date of purchase, I would like to perform a incremental load example. So let's say this particular data, whatever is available in this flat file, this is going to be executed via part of a workflow every month. So I'm supposed to get only the latest books which is published after the final date into the target file. So basically what I want here is, let's say initially I have the data till 22/1, and afterwards there are these two data got added. So I should know that I will only upload the data which is in which came to this flat file after the last date or the maximum date of purchase. So in this example, the maximum date is going to be 22/1. Uh, so my mapping should identify this value, even if this value is coming somewhere here. Then also my mapping should know whatever is the maximum date, and it is going to take that as the date after which the data will get consumed from the source. So this is a typical incremental load kind of example based on the date of purchase. So for that, uh, let me save this and close this flat file for now. Let me open the Informatica client. Okay, so I'm going on my new repository which I have created for my demo. Let me clear all the source analyzer. Here, since I have already created the source file as a flat file, I'm going to import it as a file. So this is the file I have created or shown you just now. Import field names from the first line. So this is my flat file. I'm going to use the same flat file in my target. So for that, I'm going in the target analyzer or target designer, and I'm pulling the same definition here. Let me change this from flat file to Oracle and rename this as TRG books with DOP. Say apply. I have not, let's say I have changed the column of date of purchase from varchar. I am making it as a date type of field. Save this and let me execute this table on my target database. So for that, I'm going in generate. Let me name this as books with DOP. I'm going to connect to the target. So this is, so my target is, let me see what my target here is. Okay, so my target is demo RNWTRG native ODBC connection. Username is demo underscore RNW underscore TRG. Say connect. So you can see that the data is got connected. Let me select the selected tables and generate. So my DB is now ready. If I want to see what data it is having right now, you can go and see in the preview data, connect to the target database. Connect. You can see there is no data as of now. That's fine because I have created this target just now. I am creating a mapping now. Let me name this as M underscore mapping variable example. I'm going to pull this source and this target. Now I have to complete the mapping. So for that, I'm going to create a first expression transformation. So if you have noticed, the source data has date of purchase as string, and I have to get the date format for this. So for that reason, I'm going to create an expression transformation. So here I'm taking all the ports and I'm going to remove the output port from this particular date of purchase, and I'm going to introduce a new column. Let me name this as O underscore date of purchase. It's going to be a date field. I don't want this as input, and I have to convert the string into a date format. So for that, I'm going to use a conversion function toDate. This is having character as character and format, that is also again a character. So the character which I'm getting as a value is date of purchase, and the format is dd/mm/yyyy. Validate this, say okay. So this is how my my output date of purchase, which will be a date format, is ready. I have to filter this based on something. So for that, I'm going to create a variable here. So the mapping variable can be created from mapping pull down menu. You have to select this parameters and variable. This will open this widget where I have to create the mapping parameter or mapping variable. So in this example, I am showing you the mapping variable. So all the variables and parameters starts with $, as we had discussed this. So I'm naming this as, let's say, date of purchase, or let me say it as last date of purchase variable. Here you can select either a parameter or a variable. I am selecting as a variable. The data type of this particular variable is, I'm selecting it as a date time. I'm keeping the aggregation as max and is expression variable as false. I'm not giving any initial value to this. That means this particular variable will not have any value as of now. Click on OK. I'm going to pass the output parameters of this expression transformation to a filter transformation. So let me name this as filter records based on date of purchase. So as a the input port to this, I'm going to pass the initial three parameters. I have already marked this as non-output parameter, so this cannot be moved here. I have not marked it. Let me see that. So I have marked it, but that's why this particular doesn't get a link created to this. So let me get rid of this date of purchase for now. And I have to put the date parameter to the filter condition. Here on the filter condition in the properties, in the filter condition, I'm going to add a condition saying that the port which is coming with the value for the date has to be more than the variable value. So the variable which I have created just now, which is not having as of now any any value to it, I'm selecting this last DOP var, validate this and say okay, apply. So this means for the first time when this variable is not having any variable in any value, it will process all the records, and then I would like to set some value to that. So for that setting of the value, I'm going to create a expression transformation here. Let me name this as exp mapping variable setter. Here I'm going to get all the ports from my filter transformation as it is, because after filter I will always have the values which need to be pushed to the target. And on this expression transformation, I'm going to add a new port. So I would like to have this port as a variable port. Mapping variable setting date. This has to be a date time kind of port. It will be a variable port because I'm not going to use this for any of the input or output. I'm just going to use this particular value to set on the variable. So for that, there is a function here available. In functions, when you go and see this variable, these are the predefined variables already available for a mapping variable. So I'm going to use this particular function called set max variable. This is nothing but it runs the max aggregation and returns the variable's value based on the maximum aggregation. I'm selecting this. It needs the variable name as character and the value as the data type of the variable. So my variable name is this particular last DOP var, and with what value I would like to set this is going to be the O underscore date of purchase. Now on the very first run, there is this particular thing is not set, but once my one session execution will run, it will get the value based on the input transaction records date of purchase. So let's validate this, say okay, apply this, and whatever data I'm getting from this expression transformation, I'm going to push this to the target. Save this mapping. Once mapping is saved, let me create the workflow for this. So from this mapping, I can generate the workflow here. I'm going to use a workflow with non-reusable session task. So click next. It takes all the name based on my mapping parameter with the prefix for workflow as WF and session as S. Click on next, next, and say finish. My workflow is now created. So for workflow, I have to go to the workflow manager. So now on this workflow manager, this is the mapping variable example which I have just now created. Let me pull this. Let me set the properties first. So for target, I am going to use the target connection object. On mapping, the input file is located at this particular location. So let me copy this and give the value here. My target is going to be used from the $target, which is again a local variable. I have to use it as normal. I'm not selecting anything called truncate table because this is an example of incremental loading. There is no other property I need to set. So say apply, okay, and save this. Now to check the value for the mapping variable, you can go on this particular session task, right click on this and see view the persistent values. If you see this right now, there is no value set because initially I have not given any value to it. Now let me execute this for the very first time. So you can see that the mapping variable example session task got succeeded. And if I go on the target data and just do a right click on this and say preview data, I did something wrong. Let me copy this again. Connect this. Now you can see that I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 records created, and the records for each records have a date of purchase value correctly associated. So let me cross check it again. So here you can see again database has the date format in US order. So month is the first thing available here. So the first record is 12/1, then 1/18, then 22/1, and then 1/9. So these values are correctly populated here. And if I want to see what the value to the variable as of now, so again I can come here and do a right click and see view the persistent value. Here you can see the variable got the value as 22/1, and 22/1 is the maximum value available on this output date as of now. So 22/1 is one of the second last record. Now let me copy this and create a couple of more entries. So let's say I created this 3 new records, and let me name this as one is 28th of, then 05, and then let's say 15. So these are the 3 records, and these are 20. Then let's say this is 2, and for the sake of our discussion I'm going to use another record, which is again, let's say 3000, 31, 31, and let me say this as 15/1. So basically I don't want this record to be pushed in the target. So that's the reason, because this date is going to be smaller than the current variable. Whatever is set is 22/1. So I have given this new 4 records. Out of this 4 records, the record with ID 3000 is not going to be pushed to the target. So this I have added to the same source file. Let me re-execute the same workflow. Okay, so now let me go back and see the data here. So if you can see, I got this 2016, 2017, 2018, but the 3000 record is not available. And based on the current data, it's going to have the variable value as 15.2. So I can go and cross check that as well. Come here and do a right click and see view persistent properties. So here you can see the value as 215. If you want to reset this value back, you can go and select on this reset value, which will change the value back to the normal initial value. So right now, if I clicked on this, it has taken me back. So now if I want to execute it again, it will get all the records, including the 3000 book ID, that also will get pushed. So if I re-execute this, it will get succeeded. And if I refresh this, actually it recalculated and dumped all the records again along with the record for 3000. And based on the current date of purchase, it's going to have the variable value set to the maximum value of the date of purchase, which is as of now 15.2. And and if I go here and see this again, I can see the value as 215. So this is how the mapping variables are very useful. This is one of the very good or very important feature within Informatica, which is being used in very frequent ways. And you can leverage these variables in your business logic of the mapping. Hope you understand this. Hope you got things clear based on this example for mapping variable. If you like the video, press on like button. If you have any questions, feel free to put your comment. I will revert to you. Thank you.